Right, Masters, we are going into yet another night of the group stage here. And this is going to be the final. Oh, no, it's not even the group stage in this one. It's going to be the quarterfinal of the upper bracket, actually, between Envy and Navi. So a single best of 3 here for the night. And we have a beautiful new bracket for you here as well. So we are actually pretty much through the groups.
Yeah.
I think we have like one match left. I think that's what threw me off.
I think we've got one match, yeah, and I think it's like C Play and Virtus Pro that are some waiting somewhere out in the distance. But we can't wait forever, so we've got to move on with this game, which is going to be a great game, by the way. Navi and Envy playing, and they're going to be on Inferno, Dust 2, and Cobblestone as well. But yeah, this is the bracket. Pretty extensive bracket. I hope you guys can keep up with your upper bracket, obviously, on your right-hand side, left-hand side, and lower bracket. So if you lose in the upper bracket, you get knocked into the lower bracket. If you lose there, then you lose altogether.
That's it. You're done. And there's a little bit of a safety net, right? Because we did keep one, like the third seed from the groups. So you weren't knocked straight out. As you guys can see, there are teams that went straight into the lower bracket from the group phase.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a bit of a dual tack thing that we're going on for here. But already, upper bracket starting off strong. And yeah, starting off strong. Navi Envy. I mean, that's a perfect match to start things off here. And you didn't get your wish, Anders. I'm sorry.
No train, sadly.
No train.
Very sad.
You know, I would love to see trade as well, because it's like Envy actually go for like double AWP Scar 20 on that. That's like a standard strat for them, apparently.
I would love to know who picked Inferno. Was it Envy again? Did they, like, happy? Can he just not control himself any longer? Or Shocks, I suppose?
Yeah, Shocks is still calling for them.
Yeah,
So maybe Shocks is feeling adventurous. Maybe Happy has been whispering sweet nothings in his ear.
I think Navi's going to win this game.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, is that based off of like recent online performances from Envy? The fact that they've been a little shaky lately?
Yeah, just generally speaking, I don't have the same confidence in them that I had a month ago. So yeah,
It's not because Guardian is on Navi.
I think that always helps, doesn't it? But actually, the rest of Navi are super cool as well. Guardian is, I mean, he's still super good, but I think Flamey is like he makes some very smart choices. Flamey, he's like a very fun player to watch. And there we are. Zeus seized Guardian, Flamey, and Edward. Yeah, the time when it was Navi, being carried by Guardian exclusively is over with. Like, that's not happening anymore. We've got the rest of the team really stepping it up.
Yeah, C's playing more of a support role these days, although he does show his moments where he's able to get some headshots. Flamey he's had like a meteoric rise, actually, just out of nowhere. Like that team, the Hellraisers, then picked up by Navi, and now he's basically on the best team in the CIS region. So huge play from him, and you guys can see, I mean, he's fairly young as well, 97 when he was born. So just big and up-and-coming talent there. And, of course, you got the godlike beard on Edward.
Yeah. I didn't even know they still made people in 97. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it?
Right? There's like 10 years difference between Flamey and Edward. That's insane.
10 years of difference between me and Seized. Scares me, doesn't it? Really scary. All right, look, no, but the whole team is super powerful. Edward's been playing much better recently, and it's just like, obviously a great player. So this is a fun team to watch, and I think they've got a lot more to show us still. So I am excited. But obviously Guardian, can't really, especially when we're gonna have Dust 2 here. That's gonna be fun.
Actually, I think you're right. Based off the maps, 'cause I didn't even look at the second map. I just saw Inferno there, but Dust 2, Cobblestone. A lot of these are actually really good maps for Navi.
They're not bad at all.
Like, Envy are good on Dust 2, but that's also one of Navi's favorite maps.
Yeah, exactly right. And Inferno's a map that Navi played really well. So so I guess we'll see Envy, though, the team roster. NBK, Shocks, Happy, Kiyoshima, and Smith. They are a major championship-winning team. And still, I mean, one of the absolute strongest teams in the world, probably the second best team in the world still. Just because they're having like an off period, I certainly won't write them off at that point. Just be like, oh, well, now they're like knocked off that. Definitely not true. But some of their online matches have been a little bit shaky. And, I mean, the problem is when you get to like number 1, number 2, keeping the focus in the team and like really staying like, on point can be really hard, because you've got a little bit less to fight for maybe. You've already kind of made it. You've already won one huge championship. So
I think there's also something else to keep in mind is the fact that these guys, like Fnatic, who we saw struggle in their match, they're going to like nonstop lands, and then it's like come home to online events. And I mean, if you're going to stay at the top, you need to stay sharp. And eventually, with all the travel, etc., that time you're going to get dulled a little bit. Yeah. So
when is that moment in time when you can sit down and just play Battletoads and have a good time?
Take a load off, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think that they've had too much of that, although Shoxy and NBK do like to get around. They like to flirt with other games. Happy, though, is like straight up CS. Like, he doesn't do anything but CS.
What other games they play?
They played WoW for a while. I mean, NBK went so far as to play some COD the other day. He was showing off his like I guess what is it, like a scuff controller or whatever. I guess that's like supposed to be the best Xbox controller you can get. I don't know.
I would say playing World of Warcraft and stuff could be dangerous just because of the time that it takes. But playing other FPS games is dangerous. I guess Call of Duty could somewhat be manageable. Have you ever tried switching from playing Battlefield into playing Counter-Strike? It's really rough because in Battlefield, at least the way I play Battlefield, I always end up sniping because it's the most fun. So you're sitting really far away, and the way you aim, obviously, you aim like ahead of someone who's running, and then up because there's like the bullet drop off that actually curves the bullet over a long time. So so you get used to that for a while, and then you go back and play Counter-Strike, where obviously that's not the case. So all your instincts are just gonna be it's a really bad experience. So
I guess he has like a little bit of a cushion there because he was playing like on 360 aim assist. Doesn't have to worry about it too much, right? Like,
that
gets
helps.
taken care of a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was all about GTA 5 and The Witcher now.
Actually,
it's what's exploded now.
I haven't seen any of The Witcher though. Like, there's all this hype around this game, and I actually haven't had like any time to watch it on Twitch or anything at all, just to check it out.
I saw a video today where someone did a like a corkscrew flip with a semi truck in GTA, where it like actually turned like the whole truck. It's amazing. I really need to play that, but I just do not have the time for it. So for me, it's all about the Counter-Strike as well.
GTA, man. Fond memories growing up, lighting people on fire with flamethrowers, just horrible stuff.
Stacking up long chains of cars, exploding the first one, and then having that set fire to the next car, which would explode, and then the next car, and the next car. And then you wait until the cops are like trying to like get in between the cars to actually, do it, and then all the cars explode. Good times.
That was like, you had to find the most creative ways to deal with how many stars you actually had, how many cops, and then all of a sudden the tank comes out of nowhere, and you just know you're screwed. Yeah.
Steal the tank, man. Just steal the tank. It's the way forward.
That's good times, man. Okay, well, enough reminiscing about GTA. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the map that's coming up now. So, Inferno, you're right. I mean, this has been like the eternal plague of Envy, where I think it was before they actually, or quite some time ago now, they were up at like 75% win rate on the map. It dropped down to like 50% recently, and it's always been this struggle now. We used to be able to say confidently that Envy, if you're going to play them on Inferno, if you're not Fnatic, you're going to have a real rough time. But it seems like recently their level on the map has kind of dropped off, and Happy just seems convinced that he has to just keep picking this map. He will show, that they are actually the best team on Inferno and that they haven't lost that title, etc. Just hasn't really gone that way. But it looks like Envy are wanting to go for a stop here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. That gives us a little bit of time. So what's so cool about this matchup, in particular on Inferno, is that they have like two sort of almost diametrically opposed approaches on the T side how to play this map. Really, Envy is the team that's usually super fast. They will sometimes take some time to set up. That's fine. But once the setup actually ignites, then they just go all in. They keep going. They're very aggressive. And Navi's like the slowest team in the whole world on Inferno, right? So we've got like the opposite styles coming into it here, and I kind of enjoy that. But I think Navi are going to win this.
This is some fascinating stuff, though, from Navi. Look at this. They only put Flamey over on the B site. He's got a full set of nades, but he's alone. They decided to stack A early here, Navi, in case Envy decided to rush up. But Envy actually going for a very slow-paced approach themselves. They have two guys carrying nades on their side, so that makes you think that they've got something special up their sleeve here for this pistol round. T-side Inferno is so important to pick up the pistol. You want to get those free rounds, essentially. You want to get the easier rounds. So that's basically why Envy are going to be trying to set up for something clever. They've got the smoke on short, and now they start wrapping around on Arch. But again, 4 players on the same site for Navi.
Su's taking a little bit of a fight, but is really a little bit worried because there's a lot of people coming. He's trying to get back out there, taking a lot of damage from the fire. Kiyoshima running for him. Edwards picked up 1 kill, but he's gone down, and there's Su's burning alive in the corner. Guardian to drop as well. Happy coming out of apartments, and Flamey with the last man standing in a 1v4. So great job from Envy. Really nice execution there. And as we kind of predicted, once it got started, there was no stopping it. They don't really slow down. They keep going, and that's part of the key as well. And the thing is, every team knows this. I think I spoke to Sean Gas from Cloud9 sometime last year, and he said, this is how Envy play Inferno, and they still do it. We know what they do, but it's still hard to deal with because it's so fast. You get very little time to make a good call, and you could see Sush like trying to adjust to what was going on with the Molotov inside of the library, and he just couldn't like find a good angle. He couldn't even make it out there.
That was really well thought, though. Great use of that Molotov. I was about to say, are they going to use it for pit? Are they going to try and save it? But they recognize that somebody that might be a threat, essentially, and they just instantly firebomb the library. So they don't even have to really worry about that angle. They just went running right past it and waited for Zeus to have to force out. So just this is the problem with Envy, or the problem essentially, fighting versus Envy, is that not only are they fast, like you're saying, but they have these guys who are great on the fly, and they just land all these shots. I mean, he's actually become a real threat in pistol rounds. Once he gets his hands on a USPS, he just seems to just lock on and get headshots left and right, as we saw him pick up the last frag on Flamey in that round. So, yeah, Envy are a real pleasure to watch. And Shoxy already starting off strong, taking out Zeus, and he's going to get the second one as well, but not before Flamey and Seized with the crossfire actually managed to get a couple kills in here. And this is definitely looking like Envy are going to be able to get this bomb plant, but it was a bit more expensive than they would have liked. Guardian is the last man alive here, Kevlar and Deagle. But he's going to be looking to save this gear. He wants to have something to go on for the next round.
Yeah, maybe he'd get close to the apartments. I mean, 2 of them have to run out. Happy could really hide in the corner somewhere and be all right. He's actually by a little pit, so he's probably going to end up walking away as well. But if some of them did try to escape through apartments, maybe they could run into Guardian and get a bit of an exit. I think that's the best case here, but doesn't look like that's going to happen either. And at the end of the day, you're right, it could have been a little bit more clean for Envy. Losing 2 players is never fun. I think one of them was an SMG, so really, they don't give up too much either. Going into the 3rd round, see if this one Deagle from Guardian could actually make a difference.
Gotta say though, if they had had rifles in that situation, or even SMGs, anything at all, that's a little bit better than the pistols, Na'Vi could have probably shredded that entire push. Because Flamey gets a kill. Seized came in afterwards. I mean, and they did great damage to Kiyoshima as well. I think he only survived with like 15 HP. So, I mean, that was just really effective on Na'Vi's part. This round, however, it should be a bit easier sailing for Envy. Although, as I say that, Na'Vi, they want to get the round done over. Like, they want to get it done fast. They're going straight down, pushing into mid, getting the control. And NBK, he's been spotted out. He gets headshot as well. This is very dangerous. But luckily for him, he has his teammates backing him up in second mid.
Yeah, wow, looked like at least he should have gone down there, but they just could not land that last bullet. Guardian waiting up here for someone to make the jump on over. A little bit worried. Sousa's back there, but very low on health, and Sousa's about to run right into Shox with this AK. Guardian picks up a kill on Happy, and Shox should be able to get this kill, no problem, but he's actually playing a little bit worried there, just has to fall back, doesn't want to risk anything. And in the meantime, Kiyoshima is checking all the other side of the map and realizing there's not a single person over here. So Envy playing it safe, actually, and not going for the kills. Not something I would always trust them to do, in fact. I feel like they're a team that sometimes will actually just try and finish it pretty early. I mean, they've got the skills for it, certainly, but it's always a little bit risky. So I'm glad to see that they made that choice, even though I guess it would be more entertaining if they tried to fight them out. It's definitely the better Counter-Strike to try and just like get the bomb down, play it safe, don't take any big risks.
Exactly. I mean, you can go for like the bullying tactic where, you know what, we're just going to beat you up while you have pistols. But it is good to see NB demonstrating some restraint there.
Yeah.
And, well, that puts them up 3-0 now. Na'Vi, first round in the 4th that they're going to be able to buy. Full rifles across the board, but very light on the nades. 3 smoke nades to work with, 2 flashes, and a single HE that just got chucked out. So they really aren't going to have a whole lot of gear to work with here, Na'Vi, to hold off this Envy push when it does decide to come through. They had a 4th smoke, apparently, but that went down bottom banana. And now look at the very quick push coming out here from Envy. 2 players going through that smoke, and Shoxy does trade successfully with Guardian.
A little bit scary then as they went in one at a time. Shox is going to go down. That drops the bomb, but they're close to the bomb site anyway, and Edward has a lot of work to do. He's going to go down to Happy. Couldn't hide in the corner. The Molotov was there to block him out, so it's a 2v3. Na'Vi giving up this round is going to be so painful. So, I mean, as long as they haven't got the bomb down yet, and it's right in front of them. In fact, they're still pushing in. Seized gets that kill on Smiths, and the bomb still dropped up there. Now they should know this. They should definitely be playing and waiting for Envy to come and pick it up again. Kiyoshima picks it up, runs back in, but think about how much time Na'Vi have got now to actually get in and fight for this defuse.
Yeah, nicely done there by Seized. I was about to say that Happy was in position waiting for him, but now life gets very difficult here for Kiyoshima. He has taken a position where he's somewhat covered, but he gets spotted out, and Seized just goes for the straight-up wallbang. This is big. He used all of his bullets, except that Kiyo is also low on his AK round. Seized playing that pillar. He actually has enough time to get the reload, and he gets the headshot as well. Nicely done by Seized. 3 kills in that round for him, and all of them key frags.
And imagine if they put the bomb down, 3 seconds earlier, then look at Seized on the timing here. It would have been pretty awful. But a really, really interesting retake there. A little bit of, I think, disconnect between Seized and the other player left alive on Na'Vi there. They think they could have timed that a little bit better. Don't mind that Seized went for the spray, but there was something that wasn't quite working then. It almost cost them the round. This kill, though, is really nice, isn't it?
That is, like, flawless right there. Instant shot onto Happy. And then being able to beat Kiyo in a 1v1, that's also just so solid. So that was like a hero round for Seized. Every kill that he got in that round had an impact and allowed for Na'Vi to connect and pick that up. So now Na'Vi are on the board. They've got that single round going for them. And now it becomes very interesting, although that was still so expensive. So you can see the difference here. Envy having won the first 3 rounds, they have a full buy. Whereas Na'Vi, having only lived with 1 player, they still don't have a lot of gear to work with. 2 FAMASes, meaning these guys had to downgrade in their weaponry just to be able to afford to get some nades on the board.
A bit of a Molotov all the way to the top then. Gonna burn out the car, but no one is there really. And they still have 2 more Molotovs left on the Envy side to see if they could do something. Once again, Flamey's been left alone over at the B-bomb site, which means Na'Vi have such a stronghold on middle and A right now. And that's a stunning grenade. Now that's 80 damage in 1 grenade. Definitely well worth it.
Yeah, that was really solid. And now Seized is still waiting here. He goes for the lucky spray. Not going to get anything from it, however. Envy able to pace themselves out well. And a little early, perhaps, on the Molotov. They tried to get the pre-fire in, but Seized has already changed up his angle. He's waiting in arch. Smoke goes down to block him off, but he does get spotted, and they aren't able to return that frag. And now this opens it up. Perfect pop flash there for Guardian to take the peek, and he drops the bomb carrier.
Oh, wow. Kiyoshima going to go down next. Shox and Happy are left. It's 2v4 currently. Jumping down. There's a good kill from Shox, but he still gets dropped. And Happy trying to see if he can take care of Edward here. Ends up dropping in, but he's very low on health himself. And the bomb is trapped over there with 20 seconds left. Happy trying to run in for it, but this is definitely not going to work out for him. 10 seconds left. He goes down to Flamey. And that will be it. Na'Vi picking up the round. Staying alive with only 2 members. Last round was only 1. And that is the silver lining here currently for Envy, and probably what's going to keep them buying anyway, just because, I mean, even if they had less money than they had now, because they know they've had 2 rounds where it's been like 1 and 2 people left alive for Na'Vi, they're definitely going to keep going. And the 6th round is coming up here. It's an MP7 on Seas. That makes you wonder if they are misjudging this Na'Vi, if they're thinking they'll probably be ecoing here.
Yeah, that actually does get you kind of asking some questions. I mean, full AKs for Envy and some nice nades there. NBK taking point, hoping to open things up here. Flamey's going to run right around that corner straight into NBK. And Zeus, not sure if he got spotted going behind that car. If he did, they would be wallbanging him down. So he's still alive. He's still going to get a shot in, and he takes out Kiyoshima. No answer possible by Envy. Although NBK really does try. He tries to get through that smoke, but he gets caught on the car. So unfortunately for him, not able to get a punish in here, and we are back into a 4-on-4.
Got to be a little careful here, Zeus. He's got 20 bullets left, more or less 23, I think. So can't just keep spraying. 25, in fact. So can't just keep spraying through the smoke with the M4A1, even though it's obviously become like the most popular out of the 2. Like everyone seems to be using it now. M4A4 going completely out of style. But that can change again, I'm sure. Seized, risking a lot. He didn't want to use that SMG anymore and tries to pick up an AK. That means Zeus now has to go big here, and NBK's first in line. The Molotov is extinguished, and Zeus just trying to buy time for his teammates to come in. And right around the corner, Edward's going to be there. He's got a grenade as well, but not in time. Shox will open up the kill on Zeus then, and right by the tree. Happy was ready and waiting. Edward gets taken out. And Guardian, he was really far away. The Guardian, I think he started actually running middle and then sort of turned around to run back. There was just no time for that. So pretty good take from Envy.
And just
that fight top banana was just like really weird from both teams, in fact.
But once they started moving, there was some great awareness on Envy's part because they knew that they didn't have a smoke down for CT. As you guys saw, you know, you're calling out Edward's rotating in. He could be here to help out Zeus. And I'm thinking, well, is anybody going to be exposed on that site by Envy? But they had all managed to make it past that. They just didn't have their backs open to CT, didn't have their backs open to Edward. It was literally Zeus on his own 1v3 at that point. So just solid play from Envy through and through right there. And unfortunately for Seas, there's just like no luck really, because as soon as he goes forward to pick up that AK, the smoke starts clearing, and then he's just like looking at the crowd. That must have been like, I bet you Envy kind of got a chuckle out of that one.
Yeah, fumbling on the floor, just trying to pick up whatever was there. It's like if you drop your phone in a nightclub.
Oh
and,
man,
you know, what's going on? The lights. Can't see a thing.
Let's see, he gets it, but yeah, he just that second hesitation there.
All right, well, not very much equipment at all on Na'Vi, but they do try and force it up anyway. They really don't want to give up the beginning of this first half here. They want to try and make sure that they can get right back into it, and I can't really blame them. Envy's already off to a decent start here. Happy in the corner. They know where he is. 3 people coming. Look and see, the backup is coming in from Happy. They're trying to get there to help him out, but it's not going to be in time. NBK spraying through. They wanted to be there to help him out, but they just couldn't.
Wow. He does some terrific damage to Seas, though, through those pillars, so Seas is going to have to play a bit carefully now, and it looks like Envy realizing that perhaps there were 2 to 3 guys over there. They're going to try and speed up towards this A site, so great reaction now from Envy, and we'll see if they can catch anybody out. They are going up arch side, though, so Edward should be able to make it into a little pit, or rather into the big pit behind the car. Zeus holding close on the site with that 5-7. Smoke goes down to block it, though, and Envy, that's kind of what stops this push from happening. Guardian getting the kill on the bomb carrier Smiths and Apartments helps as well, or in Library, rather.
Yeah, Guardian Right next to the fridge, trying to see if he can get this kill. kioShiMa will take him down with an SMG, no less. That's got to be annoying. But overall, this round is a big success for Na'Vi, obviously. kioShiMa, he could try and run B. That smoke means he can't block off Seized with coming in for Banana. So a little bit of a shame then. But it might buy a time where the other two people are going to stay in A. So if he can just win this fight against Seized, it's still pretty decent.
He's only got 20 seconds as well, so this is going to be very awkward for him. Might plant in the open, he gets spotted, and that gives it away. But with 15 seconds left, this really isn't a lot of time for kioShiMa. He's going to try and bait him out into the open, gets that shot, and now he gets the free plant, no problem at all. He hears them coming in through Banana as well, so he can actually start getting into position to handle this as well. Spots out the man in CT, goes for the spray, and unfortunately, he needed like the direct headshot there, and he just doesn't get it.
I mean, that's still pretty impressive in a 1v3 to get a kill and put the bomb down. And I think C's just, I got a little bit like jumpy then, because he could have obviously just played the clock and waited. But it was easier to tell from our point of view maybe than it was from C's after all. 4-3, and the 8th round is coming up, and Na'Vi barely hanging on here. I mean, this is really them trying to stay alive, and you can see EnVy, they keep winning just enough rounds or getting just enough kills that Na'Vi really don't ever have a great economy, and EnVy can just keep buying. So this is great for the Frenchmen. They're going to keep doing this all day long if they can. Yeah,
the other thing to take away from that, the fact that Keo gets a third kill, or at least kills a third player of Na'Vi, is that they're going to have to... That means that Na'Vi, somebody on Na'Vi has to drop perhaps that FAMAS for Guardian. So there is no saving happening on Na'Vi at all. If there were 3 of them, then they have a little bit of room to start maneuvering, and they can start building a little bit of a bank. But right now, Na'Vi really have their backs to the wall. 4 rounds picked up for EnVy versus Navi's 3. And EnVy, still plenty of chances here. Edward, they're going to get cleaned up by Smiths, who just hits that perfect timing so fast. EnVy just speed up so quickly. But Zeus right now wrecking on short. 3 kills for him.
That was incredible. That is very, very tough to do. It's one of the worst positions you can be in quad like that, when they're coming out of boiler and jumping off the balcony like that. But the disconnect between the enemy players was just enough that Zeus had the time to get those kills. So very well done indeed. Smiths and NBK are going to be left. No bomb plant yet. Trying to see if they can get it up here. And Guardian hears it as well. Going to try and walk out, but he gets taken out from Pit. NBK with some really good coverage. Mad spray through. He takes out Zeus as well. And now it's a 2v2. What is going on? NBK looking for another shot here. Seized. Under fire. Hasn't really taking that much damage yet. The War Flashbang's going to be out into the lane here, and a follow-up inside the site as well as Flamey goes down. It's all on Seized. He burns alive. Oh no! EnVy steal the round. That was definitely Navi's round. Like 100%. Well, obviously not 100%, but 99% should have been.
I can't believe it. From a 2-on-4 into a win. EnVy are incredible. NBK with his 2 kills from Pit, Smiths with his 2 kills on site. Great communication between the 2 of them. And NBK getting a little bit of a lucky break, because as he looked back towards short, he just spotted Seized's head. If he hadn't spotted Seized, maybe there was a chance that Na'Vi could catch him off guard. But the fact that he actually spots out Seized means, okay, now they only have to worry about the other man. Where is he? And Smith spots him out. So...
yeah, there was always, I mean, on top of the great round from EnVy, there was also a lot of like miscommunication on Na'Vi then. Like, they gave them some big openings to try and do that, so I don't know. That is a worrying sign, definitely. This time, they can't really do much. They've just got pistols. They're up against armor and rifles, and, well, Edward's going to get overrun here. Smiths with a nice double. Flamey and Seized are going to be left. But when you're in a 2-on-4 like that, you have to be able to set up situations where you're 100%. And I understand that Guardian heard him picking up the bomb and thought, okay, if I can go and kill him before the bomb goes down, big win. But if you stay and wait for your teammates, it's not like a big chance you'll win. It's like 100% you'll win, basically. So just play it safe. And that's kind of what they didn't do.
And that puts EnVy up on 6 rounds now. T-side Inferno. Na'Vi, they go for a bit of a half buy here, just balancing out their economy. Means that they have a few nades to work with, some pistols, and a sexy Nova picked up on Edward. So we'll see if he can get any actual shotgun kills in. But Na'Vi, they actually shift things around now. Towards the beginning of this half, they were putting 4 players on A early on. Now they actually go for the 3 on B again. And this HE going to sail just a little bit too far there. Nobody waiting. Instead, EnVy just flashed their way through that smoke and look to take over control. And actually, they're just going to go running straight onto the site. NBK is there and Seized up close with the 5-7. Gets a triple kill and a quad when he picks up the AK as well. Happy now, the last man alive here for EnVy. And what a decision on EnVy's part to run through like that.
What madness is this? Seized with a quad kill currently. And he ends up going down. Happy has the bomb, is going to be running back, and he will definitely get this part at A unless he slows down himself. Guardian and Edward can still easily lose this round. It's definitely far from over. The one big thing is that Guardian has a defuse kit, so that means they get a little bit more time. But if you time Guardian's position right now, if you time how long it takes to run from B all the way to A, it's going to be crazy long time, like crazy amount of time. 35 seconds to defuse, 17 seconds of which are used running. That means you're in a tough spot. It takes 5 seconds to defuse. You got 10 seconds to try and find Happy and kill him. Otherwise, you're going to lose the round.
Yeah, you are definitely in a world of hurt. And now Happy, he's taking a position in the pit as well, spots out the man on the site. So there's one, he sees two. Now he knows what both players are. And he's going to be in position to be able to deny this defuse if he wants to. They're just running right into him. He gives away his position, however. Now that bomb, did he, what?
Wow.
That's definitely not. He did not realize that that bomb was getting defused. Or perhaps what he was expecting, I think, basically, he's saying, well, they ecoed, so why would they have a kit?
It could be, but even then, the bomb plant was actually not very favorable for his pit position. So there are a couple of weird things that went on there. Maybe when he put down the bomb, he was worried that they were going to be much closer. So he wanted to be safe inside the site planting. Because I think if he had known that they were both at B, he would have set this up entirely differently. So I think it's just a question of us having a lot more information than Happy. Yeah. So he gets to look a little bit silly, which is funny, but I don't think we just knew more than he did in that point.
Yeah. Well, I think that the big key there is the fact that he's doing an internal clock and he's saying, well, they ecoed, they don't have a kit. I have a little bit more time to play with here.
But I mean, kit or no kit, either way, they still, the bomb plant was still awful for him, right? Even at 10 seconds to defuse, he would have still had a really hard time getting in there. So, yeah. A little bit tricky. A little bit of a shame then, because that could have been a great rescue. Na'Vi, they get to stay alive a little bit longer here. Obviously, a big win for them. Seized on that quad kill.
This opens it up.
But they need rounds. They need a round where they crush Envy, where they simply come out with a really big win here. And a nice boost, yeah.
That's it. 45 seconds left, and they don't have a single nade now. They have done a good job of limiting Envy's options. And there's Edward actually picking off the man, but then Kiyoshima gets that kill on Flamey. He was the man holding on B site. There has been a rotation from C's, so he's going to be able to get in here fast enough to be standing in Envy's way, essentially, to try and stop them from getting onto this site. All of the Envy nades have been used now, and C's just waiting patiently here behind second oranges. Do they actually check? Yes, they do, but they don't do it thoroughly enough, and he's there to deny that plant. 2 kills for C's, and he saves the round. The third one as well. It's only fitting that he picks it up, and that is going to be a perfect hold on that B site from him.
Nuts performance from Seized, really well played. And I love the absolute confidence of walking around this corner. Not trying to, get a few runs in there. He just simply walks in and knows that they're running in there. So if they catch him as he's walking there, he's dead. He's not even looking. He just actually had his back turned. Just the supreme game knowledge coming out from Seized here. Super well done.
And that's the power of Seized, because I did say, he's a bit more of a support player these days. If somebody needs to pick up nades in general, he's the one doing it. If somebody needs to go for a Galil, he's the one doing it. These sorts of things, right? But you can still see that he's perfectly capable of picking up the frags. It's not like that has an impact on his ability to get the headshots. So C is still showing that he's got it in him. Yeah. And now Na'Vi, they're back into it, 5-6.
Oh, Envy, they're running the strat again. Basically just smoking out all of Archway and running back in. It worked super well just a couple of days ago. We'll see if it's going to work again. There's Seized picking off 2, and Zeus will get a kill. Edward goes down, and Happy's the last one to fall. So finally a round where Na'Vi actually managed to save a couple of guns here, and Guardian finally has his AWP. But I was going to say, when Seized joined this team, it was with a fellow Russian player called Kibakan. They were like a duo. They'd played in previous teams before together, so they were like a package deal essentially that Na'Vi got picked up, and it became fairly obvious early on that out of the 2 players between Seized and Kibakan, Seized was like the star player, and it looked like he was going to continue that role in Na'Vi. I would say though, yeah, you're right. He's not necessarily that anymore, but he's definitely got the opportunity for it, and whether or not you're the star. Sure, it comes down to how good you are personally, but a lot of it is also down to what role you're allowed to play in the team. And if Seized is cool with not playing that role, then it actually makes him an even more valuable player. If he can bend his own ego and say, I don't have to be the star player, as long as we win, I'm happy, that's super valuable. It's something that so many top players can't do.
Yeah, that just should give you even more respect. And the timing is impeccable there for Flamey. 2 goes, but then you have the double play here by Seized. It is a 1-for-1, well, a 2-for-2 trade eventually in the end. But Happy, Shoxy's not even going to get onto that side. It's just Happy alone. The damage that they've taken on Envy's side is going to make this very difficult for them. He sets up for an aggressive push through, and Guardian is just there with the Tech 9 to take him out. So no luck there for Envy in that round. But in large part due to that tag team duo over on that B site. It's good that we're talking about that as well, because Flamey, since he's joined up, it's been basically, since he's joined up, we've started to see C's take more of this passive role, or not putting himself forward to be in that position to get the frags, right? But it looks like they're working very well together on that B site.
Yeah, I mean, Flamey is someone I would praise so much. I guess it's hard to do it now that he's actually, you know, sort of bottom fragging. But the thing about Flamey that really gets me every time is how good he is at getting himself into like a really great position. Like, it's weird. Sometimes it feels like everyone that Flamey fights is somehow looking the wrong way. They're somehow checking the wrong corner because he's like always just in a good spot there. Edward's going to take out Zeus, which is
a little unfortunate.
Yeah. It's going to be a meeting later on about this one, right? Do you think he was exiting B?
I don't know, but he might have to get a written apology later.
It's going to be brought up. Zero Gravity is going to be on Skype already.
Oh, that was like the most ineffective flash in the history of ineffective flashes, but it still allows for Na'Vi, well, for Envy rather, to get onto this bomb site to get this bomb plant, and Happy just barely gets up behind the car in time. Seized, I don't think he spotted him. This could be a good opportunity here for Happy to get a bit of a peekaboo moment. Goes jumping up, point blank with the Tech 9, and now he's got an M4 to play with as well. Happy going to be able to now establish a bit of a crossfire with his teammate, and Smiths just lurking here right on the edge of CT. So this is going to be big now. Can Smiths pick up the kill when Edward comes around that corner? In fact, it's going to be Happy there. Happy just taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, Guardian, I mean, he's trying to check this bomb site, but they're both outside. He doesn't have a smoke or anything, so he's going to do it once, gets a good shot there. Now he's going to have to hold it in. Smith should be coming in. Perfect timing here. No issue at all. And there's Guardian gone. Big victory here for Envy, and a big misstep from Na'Vi. Once again, the communication and timing between Na'Vi players is definitely off by a couple of seconds here. They're not getting the right calls in at the right time. And if they are, a few too many other players are willing to take individual fights rather than trying to buy time for the rest of the team here.
Playing it, you have to wonder if Guardian was in position to support Edward there when he went over spools. I mean, still, fine work there from Happy as well. It's a combination. It's always going to be this balance between, you know, some mistakes that are made and also just some players stepping up to the opportunities that are given them. And yeah. Happy is one of the best in the business as far as that's concerned. Very, very rarely do we see him messing something up. So, well, so far, actually, the defense looking pretty solid for Na'Vi in this round. 15th round of the half, 7-7 the score, and Guardian is already going to work. 2 kills for him, and Edward catches out Happy, the man in question, up in apartments. Hiroshima will get that kill, however, does return, but he was the last man alive, and Guardian hunts him down. Ends the half at 8-7 for Na'Vi, but that scoreline right there, Envy have got 7 rounds on their T side going into their CT side. That's just huge. This is a big start for Envy, the Frenchman.
It is, but we've also seen Envy utterly fail their CT side. I mean, some of their games on this map that have been really awful for them have actually involved like decent T sides and then really bad CT sides. And now we are a strong terror-sided team as well. I would say that the most critical rounds in this first half weren't necessarily won by Envy as much as they were like given away by Na'Vi in the sense. At least 2 of them were like super solid Na'Vi rounds, and then they.
Well, the 2-on-4, right?
Yeah, like the 2-on-4 was really painful. But this previous one as well, where they were up against just pistols, should be easy enough to handle and play safely instead of like trying to fight over a banana, really. So there were a couple of rounds like that, which definitely should have. I mean, this should have probably been like 10-5 for Na'Vi if that hadn't happened. Which is, I mean, even at 5 rounds, Envy could win on CT side, but right now they do have a good chance, and they look on fire. They look on point right now, Envy. Not the Envy we've been seeing for like a couple of days ago here. They look really good.
I agree wholeheartedly. They are definitely looking to be in pretty decent shape tonight. 5 Kevlar picked up for Envy in this pistol round, and Na'Vi just a single man seized, holding the smokes, holding the flashes. So the rest of them on Kevlar. We got 9 Kevlar on the map right now, so there's definitely going to be a bit of a brawl. And Na'Vi, this makes you think run and gun. Throw 1 smoke, get a key point blocked off, and then just brute force your way onto a site behind the flashes.
Yeah.
So we'll see which one they decide to go for, because right now, Na'Vi in true Na'Vi style, they haven't really pushed anywhere. They're just now pushing up to T. They're taking their time, getting the info, and we'll see them commit.
Ooh. Guardian being allowed, and I don't think he spotted that Shoxy, but if he had seen 2 people there, that would have also been a nice bit of information. Now he's trying to walk back and will actually run back, and they're going to check and see that he's not there anymore. They just catch the edge of him, and look at this, Kiyoshima. He sees what's coming. He knows that if he can walk up behind them, he can win this whole round right here. He's a little bit worried, makes a little bit of noise. They're not in middle anymore. The call's coming through now, but NBK, it goes down, and Smith is going to fall as well. Is it too late for Envy here? Happy finally with the return, but he's going to get dropped as well, and Kiyoshima, who had like the perfect position, has just mistimed it by a couple of seconds. So now it's on Shox and Kiyoshima here. 2v3 retake in a pistol round. That is no fun at all. But Kiyoshima and Shox, they both land a headshot. And it's going to be up to Edward now in the pit. Goes for a bit of a burst fire here. Going to take out one next in line. Shox is there, and Edward tries to do it. 1 bullet. He's going to get it with the last possible bullet. And Shox is going to go down, and Na'Vi, they win a big pistol round. That is incredible.
That is so close. You can't have it come down to be that close. Kiyoshima getting picked up immediately as well. Down to 10, goes for the burst. Burst. Oh my god. 1 bullet left and 2 HP on Shoxy. And that was a very nice round as well by Na'Vi. Just full out running gun, straight collapse onto that A site. They got the rotators as well early on. Smith's at Arch, he wasn't able to accomplish anything. Happy got cleaned up fairly quickly in the pit as well, having only picked up 1 kill. I mean, it looked like Na'Vi should have been able to just lock that down, but then Shox and Kyo come in and make it very close for them.
Now look, this is super smart. This is where both Shox and Happy and pretty much anyone else in this NV team, I think, would be able to make this kind of call. They're playing against the super slow Na'Vi team, so they buy 5 grenades, armor, and pistols in this round. These 5 smoke grenades are going to be really important. Na'Vi are already so well known for running down the clock that if they try and play it super slow, if Na'Vi don't put pressure on NV to get rid of these smokes early on, it could get really tricky. And look at NBK and Happy. They have the 2 smokes still over at B. That's what you have to keep an eye on here. Minute left, and none of them have gone up yet, so they just want to buy as much time as they possibly can.
Curious to see if this is going to be some kind of wraparound play through Arch right now for Na'Vi. They've got that bomb still waiting at top banana, along with C's. They can kill off the man holding library. This is a possibility here for Na'Vi to go through, and yeah, they do get spotted, however. Flamey, some shots taken on him. Oh, and we see the reaction as well from Happy. Look at this. Happy gets him to position. He's got that smoke to block off CT.
Yeah, but now the rest are going to come in from Banana as well. Flamey tries to make his way through. Happy's going to go down. MBK hiding in the corner. He's going to get a little bit rough for him here. He goes down to Happy as well. Oh, sorry, for Flamey. So super well done by Na'Vi. In fact, the timing is going to be perfect once again here. Very little time left. 17 seconds, but they're in the site. They make it work. And that is huge for them. If they hadn't tried to do the wraparound then, they would have been running into Happy's smoke, because he was obviously over by construction and he had 1 more smoke. That smoke would have put the timer at right around 23 seconds-ish by the time they would have, the smoke would have cleared. And if you push into the site at 23 seconds, you're playing a dangerous game. So I'm glad to see that they managed to get that wraparound. Well timed by Na'Vi.
Yeah, well thought out play there as well. Kiyoshima will pick up C's, but he gets returned instantly by Guardian. So 2 kills going in there for Envy on that 4 spy round. Not something to write home to mom about. Not super good. Na'Vi aren't going to care too much about that because it's going to be a hard eco coming out from Envy in this round, so they'll get to farm back up some of that money. The score will be 10-7 now. Na'Vi getting a little bit ahead here in the second half. It's very similar to what happened in the first half, actually. Na'Vi got that strong start after having picked up the pistol. It's going to come down to the 19th round, essentially, for Envy to start getting something going for themselves. And I think somebody shanked somebody there because Smiths is down to 64 HP, so that's not the best way to start a stack off. Although they do get 4 players onto the B site. And is Happy? Are they just stacking one on top of the other? It looks like it. So they're trying to go for some mind games over here, it seems like.
Just everyone hiding more or less in this corner or in the fountain as well.
Oh,
that's what
clever.
Smith sees from this angle.
That's really clever.
Yeah, I still think he's going to be fairly visible from the other side. I don't think he's going to be too hidden there. But coming out of Boiler, Shox might find a good timing here. Does a little bit of damage to Zeus, and it's just going to be a little bit annoying. But they seem to ramp back around to A, which means there's not a lot Shox can do from this position, especially now that the smoke is up. And the rest of Envy, they might as well show up here because they don't have anything to really save. So, you know, why not just come back and try and see if they can get some good exits.
Flamey is going to find Shoxy. He drops him down to 9 HP, though. Shoxy, he's doing a good job of staying alive, at least. Not falling to Flamey there means that Edward has to make sure that he keeps eyes on Boiler. It's going to keep Flamey occupied as well, trying to keep eyes on apartments. So, going to try and divide Na'Vi's attention a little bit. Rotation has come in, however, for Envy. All 4 members actually stacked up in CT. So they didn't try and split down mid or anything like that, and Na'Vi are going to have a way out of this trap. They're going to be able to walk down mid now and hold on to the guns. NBK trying to peek forward to get some info, gets picked off, and there's Shox. He takes out Flamey, point blank, instant kill. Unfortunately for him, though, it's only the MP7. He would have much rather pick up an AK there in that situation.
Yeah, you're right, but he could do a lot here with it anyway. Going to try and spray out. No, he doesn't see Edward. And sees also get Kiyoshima. That could have been a great kill with the MP7 as well. Just get the $600 bonus right there. It's M4A1s all around on the NB team, not a single A4. Wow. Sad times. Sad times, not an A4 to be found. I mean, what was it, like 6% or something? The last 2 lands of the kills picked up with A4s? Like, nobody's using A4s anymore. And I don't think Happy's going to get his wish because he named his A4, you know, please stop nerfing me. And yeah, sorry, stop nerfing me. You know, it's not going to happen, Happy. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the answer doesn't have to be nerfing the M4. It could just be like trying to tweak the M4A4 a little bit. See if you could come up with a good way of doing it. There's been lots of suggestions on the subreddit, so I'm not sure what the exact right answer is, but I'm sure we'll see soon enough. 7-11, and the clock just ticking past the minute mark. Bomb still in banana somewhere. And Envy, they only have one smoke left at about 50 seconds, which is not great, especially because it's not over at B, which means if Na'Vi just want to do the same thing they did last time, this is going to work even better.
Yeah, they're gathering up for it. I mean, they've got 3 guys gathered up right out of Arch. It's going to be Smith, the lone man, holding here at the corner bit in front of Library. And not sure if Guardian spotted them there. Guardian, no AWP, so it's not going to be lethal, but there is some damage dealt to Smith, and they're going to be able to dart pass through into Arch, and it is going to be, once again, this split onto B here from Na'Vi. Really cool strat to see. Especially there, I can say, well, what? NBK just caught sleeping. They're probably talking. He will step out and win the duel, and he gets the second one as well. Instant headshot on the Guardian. That makes all of the difference here.
They didn't mean NBK mad. It's like, I'm trying to have a conversation in this bomb site, and then he just kills 2 of them. Happy in the back lines here. The smoke is up. He's trying to get the spray through, but can't connect. Then Shox comes through anyway to get a double kill, and Edward just says, well, I can't do anything to stop this defuse. So really surprised that Envy won that round, and NBK obviously the hero for that one. I mean, especially caught sleeping like that, or as you said, probably more likely talking to his teammates. That is really bad. And I mean, when you're at 50 seconds and the only smoke you have left is at the A-bomb site, and they're doing a hit on B-bomb site, it should be really hard to stay alive and keep a hold of it. This is great play from MBK.
What I love about MBK, yeah, he's got like, I mean, this is just sick. Long range as well, but also it's like almost equally important with Happy. Him going for that spray actually allows Shoxy to come up undetected on B. He draws the attention of both of the Na'Vi players to himself. They're like, oh crap, is this guy going to stop the bomb? Where is he? And then there's some communication, I suppose, on Envy, or just raw timing. Shoxy comes around the corner and kills both of them. So, I mean, 2 big plays there from 2 different players on Envy's side. Well, we'll say 3. We'll include Shoxy in the mix because he still had to get the kills as well. Really important round picked up there. Now going into the 20th, and it's 11 rounds for Na'Vi, 8 for Envy, and Envy are going to be able to get a pretty decent buy, all things considered. Both teams right now will have their backs to the wall considering the economy that they have. Yeah, fairly, well, actually, look at that bank on Edward, dude. He's got 8K. He's got 8K after a full buy. Wow.
Not bad, not bad. He's also got a train pin, I'm noticing. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah. And Na'Vi still slow as they ever were, but they do have 3 Molotovs this time, so curious to see where they're going to use them. They made a big point of checking the corner where Smith is holding right here earlier with flashbangs, though. Even better if they check them with Molotovs. That would make me very happy. No one currently in position to do that, though. They're a little bit, they've just got Guardian in the middle, and he does not have one. They're up in the apartments, though. And actually, Na'Vi have gone for a couple of pretty explosive apartments play recently as well. Kiyoshima around the corner. This MP7 is not the greatest tool for it. And he's going to end up going down. Seized will pick up Smith now. Shox has to come up big. And he will. Gets a double kill quickly. Still got 8 bullets left. Down in the pit. He spots out Seized. He's going to get that kill too for a triple. And now Edwards all alone. Puts on the bomb here. In a very tricky 1v2. But he's going to go for the fight early on. Makes it a 1v1. And he knows where MBK is coming from as well. Has time for the reload and time for a flashbang as well. It's going to be popped out there. That's a tricky flashbang. And MBK, is he going to guess where it was coming from? Not sure he does. Jumping up, Edward gets the triple. What a stunning clutch there from Edward. That was very well played.
2 stunning plays, essentially. Shoxy with his hold in apartments and even getting the kill onto the long. And then Edward with the clutch, essentially, getting 3 kills total in that round.
Right, so what was really cool about the way Edward played that position is if he just tries to, like, he puts down the bomb and then tries to play it safely, he will allow for a big opening where Envy can try and coordinate and push him so that the timing between the 2 players is so good that he almost can't make it, right? So what he does is he takes a big risk and say, I have to fight the first one. I have to fight and make it on my terms. Once he gets into a 1v1, it's much more manageable. So that's super well played by Edward. Like, obviously years of experience, so he's tried this 100 times before, but that's really important. That he sort of makes sure that they can't get close enough to use the timing against him. Just removes one of the players in that instance. So really smart play.
And because of that round now, we see Envy sitting on pistols here in this round. Shoxy has invested in Kevlar to back his P250, but the rest of them looking pretty skimpy here. Nice nade on Shoxy, though, even if he was trying to back off. And now Kiyoshima, does he hit that timing? Well, he gets one, but Edward instantly returns on him, and it's going to be Shoxy still alive in this pit. Spots out the man, and he's going to get the headshot on a flame. He's still alive here as well. This is turning into a bit of an expensive ordeal here for Na'Vi. They do spot the man out in Graveyard, and Shoxy's still alive. That sets it up for NBK, who's picked up an AK to play with, and that bomb has not been planted yet. Just now will Na'Vi have the space, have the room to actually go for it, but they decide to go ahead and take MBK out instead. He was spraying through the smoke, though, so pretty apparent as far as his position was concerned.
You do make yourself a bit of a target when you have an AK or an M4A4 shooting through these smokes here. The M4A1 is...
Hence the A4A1,
so
like
much
why it's so popular, right? You have no idea where you're getting shot from. You might have some of an idea just based off of angles, right? But it is so difficult to actually zone in on somebody. There was a little bit of a time there where their smokes weren't acting properly, and you could actually see like a little puff coming from the end of the A1, but that got fixed up, so once again, you're like a ninja with that gun.
And it looks like they're going to boost up onto the canopy that's down there by Quad. Yeah, Kiyoshima's up there with a FAMAS in hand. Always a powerful position, especially if they try and put up smokes towards Quad, because you can look over them in towards Archway, so it works on a number of different levels.
This is also a favored position by Keo. This is actually one of the go-to strats for Envy. Just getting him boosted up there, double stacking it, because now Smiths is sitting below him. So this is brutal if Na'Vi decide to go through that position, but right now, Na'Vi just past the minute mark, and we have all 5 members gathered up in Banana. So this must be going off the fact that they are light on nades right now on Envy's side, and this smoke must not have been put down too long ago. So they're still willing to hang around here, and they're going to set it up now. Flash onto that site just to get Envy rattled a little bit, and this could open things up. Although NBK still had that final smoke actually goes out, and that was NBK throwing it, so more time bought.
Yeah, the timing is pretty decent here for Envy, in fact. Like 30 seconds now, only just now are navigating here. This is scary. If they start losing too many players, if enough time is bought here, the Molotov's obviously doing a lot of work, just forcing Envy back into the site. And NBK in the background is going to go down next in line. Happy waiting. There is 5 people waiting on the other side. He's going to go for the shot there, but he doesn't get the kill on Seized and cost him his life. Seized also doing a good job just hiding and not really trying to take the fight, because that would have got him killed. And Envy, I don't think they should try and retake this. I think they should walk away from this.
If they can get a kill within the next couple of seconds here, if they can catch somebody out, and there you go. But they do trade, so that's not as good as they were hoping for there. Flamey, instant retort, and now Flamey and Seized both very low. Tiger still, well, Tiger Edward, right? He's still going to be able to pick up a kill before getting wiped out, but it was just this tit for tat. Every single time Na'Vi lose somebody, they instantly have somebody peek out from a different position and pick Envy off. So that's why you're saying, you know, Envy, the likelihood of them pulling this off, pretty slim. They should probably save their guns, just because they're always going to have that advantage, Na'Vi, where they can afford to give up a man. Even if one man survives, they'll come out ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like they hadn't done enough in the defensive part of that attack to try and really get it. Like, if they got the kill, if Happy gets that kill, maybe it's a little bit more doable, but the fact that they all stay alive is just too scary. Now it's 14-8, and Envy's second half here. I mean, we did sort of warn, that was what I wanted to try and point out. Their CT side sometimes on this map, when they've been losing horribly, that's been the problem for them. And it still is, apparently.
Still trying to figure out what to do. It's clear the struggle right now. They aren't having too much luck with it. Full nades bought up on their side. 5-7s, a single CZ on Smiths, the purest. So weird to see Envy not using CZs across the board anymore.
Yeah, 5-7 seems to be the name of the game here. I mean, it's a super powerful pistol.
Yeah, that's true. Whoa, timing there on the spray through. Nicely done there by Happy.
More bullets than the P250. The headshot range of it is longer, so you can be further away and getting one kill. Kiyoshima demonstrating and picking off Guardian. Then a little bit of a failed flashbang then that was supposed to go back out behind him, so you could take a quick peek then. Kiyoshima inside is going to go down as well. But the other thing I think that makes the 5-7 such an incredible tool is the fact that you can run and shoot with it so much. Like, it's a very good weapon for running and shooting.
It's very mobile, no doubt about it. And NBK demonstrating that, managed to catch out Zeus, but then Flamey returns again. Na'Vi, these past couple of rounds, they've just been so on point with the one guy gets picked off, another one is in position to take his place, get that refrag, and just make sure that they never lose that man advantage. Now it's nearly impossible for Happy to come in here and actually get anything done. The Triangle of Doom has been set up on this site. They will be holding it. They've even got they're even letting them know, hey, you know, we got a pretty good idea of where you're coming from, mate. You go ahead and make sure that he's kept warm and toasty in there.
Think you can relax on that couch with your books and your carpets? Definitely not. I mean, we're not in support of book burning in general, but Happy, man, he's not going to have any entertainment. Even after his friends are dead, they're not going to give him anything.
Oh, man. And what do they do now, Envy? Oh, I mean, it's just straight force by map point here for Na'Vi. 15-8. In Envy, they go for it. They do actually get 2 rifles on top of the AK that Happy was able to save in the last round. So a bit more of a healthy buy than what they had last round here. But still, it's going to be incredibly difficult versus Na'Vi, especially when Na'Vi, they're still going for this kind of slow play. So if Envy peek out, they're going to get hammered.
This whole buy from Envy, I think, is centered around the fact that they wanted as many grenades and as many smoke grenades and as many Molotovs as possible. That's what they want. They don't really care about the rifles as such. I mean, that's like a secondary issue. And that makes sense because Na'Vi are playing so slow. The problem is, Envy actually haven't been able to punish Na'Vi for that slow play at all. Like, Na'Vi, yes, they wait until there's 20 seconds to get into the bomb site, but they still make it work. So something else has to change for Envy. I feel like the grenades, they're good, but they're just not quite good enough right now. Na'Vi's got this timing down perfectly.
Yeah, and they're so thorough as well, Na'Vi. That's probably what's going through Envy's mind right now because, you know, I guess the go-to answer would just be, well, you know, you have to press them early then. You have to try and have some aggression on your side. But Na'Vi have also been showing that they're very good at closing off angles and trading effectively, which is what's going through Envy's head at this point, which may be influencing them towards this more passive play where they just hold back on the site and cross their fingers and hope.
Happy, he's going to find some really good timing here to take out Su Shox. He just has to stay alive for a couple of seconds down here. Flamey jumping down into the pit, and Shox will pick him off. He finally drops, but Happy's there to return the kill. And a good position right now for Envy. This is going to be very, very hard for Guardian to try and win. He's looking for the bomb. It's just the edge of the truck then, and he is going to have to be careful. He doesn't walk into the fire, but they're coming for him quick and fast, and BK will take him out. So, yeah, good timing. I think Happy running for the smoke over at Archway, definitely some really good timing on his part.
A good save there by Envy. And that is when they were actually able to wear Na'Vi out. So now Na'Vi, plenty of money to go for a full buy in this round. Going to be a little bit light on the nades on a couple players. Guardian and Flamey come to mind, although Guardian gets a full set, so it really is just Flamey. But now they're fairly low on money here. So Envy, they get a full buy behind this. Shoxy's the only one without any nades. And they have a chance at running it back. If they can pick up this round here on Na'Vi, Na'Vi will be hard-pressed to get a meaningful buy going in the next one. So Envy, they're not done yet. 6 rounds, it's possible for any team on CT side of Inferno. They just need to line up properly. They just need to get things going as far as the communication is concerned. And look at how, I mean, again, it's just very passive play. No peeks up into apartments early, no peeks into mid early, no pushes down banana. Envy right now, they're playing just so incredibly passively. They're giving everything to Na'Vi.
Yeah, and I mean, for the past 10 rounds, that's been working out really great for Na'Vi. They don't mind that. They can just keep going all day if that's what's on the table here. This position though from Kiyoshima, last time it was never really put into play. This time it might be, and this is the smoke that you can look over. This smoke is supposed to block off this side of the map, but you can see Kiyoshima with a good angle almost gets the kill, but now the flash just rain in. Smith trying to stay alive here, and Happy's going to help him out, but Seized will still pick him up. So now it's NBK and Happy. It's a 2v4, and they got to go for it or they'll lose the map. Seized with another kill. He's top fragging. He is a monster on this Inferno map, and NBK goes down. Seized with a triple, 25 kills in total. What a great performance. The rest of Na'Vi are almost all tied up. Su's the only one at 17, otherwise 18 across the board. A power performance from the CIS team.
Yeah, and what's refreshing to see, actually, that it wasn't anybody really dropping out on Envy's side either. If you saw the frags ending for them as well, yeah. You know, everybody in the mid-teens. There was a couple guys that managed to, you know, to crack above 20, but it wasn't like there was just, you know, somebody just completely dropping off where Shoxy was having this horrendous moment where he's like sitting at 3 frags at the end of the half or something like that, or at the end of the map. Like, everybody also hitting shots on Envy's side. It's just that, as far as I'm concerned, it looked like towards the end there, of course, when you got the back to your back to the wall, you can afford to give no ground. You know, taking a risk, it's difficult. But even at the beginning of that half, it didn't really seem like Envy were just getting out there to pop Na'Vi on the nose and make sure that Na'Vi weren't too comfortable. They were really taking this kind of like passive, wait until they walk into our crosshairs approach. Yeah. And if you give Na'Vi that kind of space, that's always been Navi's strength, the executes. If you let them get up onto that site, everybody's going to know exactly where to look, and they're going to get the headshots first.
We do have the recap ready, but I mean, an additional point to me, and we'll just roll it while we talk anyway here. The additional point on top of that is that actually, because they're holding so passively as well, once the execute happens from Na'Vi, Envy have almost no way of reading it, right? They will know once the smoke starts to land, they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, but they're not in the middle peeking and out seeing, oh, wait a minute, there's actually 3 people on banana. They've got very little intel to play with, so that makes it really hard on them. I think Envy were counting a lot on the idea that, okay, Na'Vi are going to wait until it's 30 seconds left before they execute. We're going to try and wait so that we still have Molotovs and grenades left with 30 seconds, which is normally actually a great way of countering what Na'Vi do. But, I mean, Na'Vi is a team that's just improving all the time, and they came up with a really solid way of not running into that, especially at B bomb side, because normally, if there's 30 seconds and you have one smoke left and you put that up at the entrance for like top banana, that's it. You almost certainly won the round, especially if you have 2 people behind the smoke waiting. But Na'Vi had a bunch of rounds where they came through CT spawn, and then it doesn't matter if you've got that one smoke up, because you don't always also have a smoke for the other side.
For your own CT spawn, right?
Yeah, for your own CT spawn. It's confusing, isn't it? So, really good stuff from Na'Vi overall. Like
yeah, some key rounds, as we see now. Again, kind of like there was so many big rounds that kind of like all blurs together. But getting to see the replay there of Edwards win in that pistol round, the fact that he was able to clutch that out.
Yeah.
I mean, if EnVy could have got those 3 rounds off of that, and pushed Na'Vi back a little bit, made them work a little bit more, would have probably given EnVy a little bit more room to work with. Not to mention confidence.
Yeah.
I think that was probably what I don't want to say that we're looking too deep into it, but the feeling that I get actually watching EnVy and this style reminds me of Nip. When Nip were really struggling with Inferno on their CT side, and this just like constant tendency to play passive because you're not necessarily confident in what your game plan is, and so you just a little bit get that feel watching EnVy right now on CT, where it's just like, what is your game plan? Are you taking these fights? It's not like the same confident EnVy that just like go YOLOing through smokes. When was the last time that we saw Happy? Well, he did it once, but through Arch, right? But like Happy, just jumping through smokes and overwhelming people.
There weren't that many. So actually, for anyone wondering, well, what are Na'Vi doing for the first, minute of the round, essentially?
Yeah.
And the problem is they do tend to sit around and wait and look at angles. So if you do want to peek them and push them, they're actually really good at handling that as well. Like then you're playing into the other thing that Na'Vi love, which is picking you off as you try and come and look for them. So
that is the hard thing.
It's one of the reasons why they're such an annoying team to play against, and so many teams have a really hard time playing against them. They're also almost the only team that plays this style, which means when you're doing all the practicing against, the rest 95% of the pro teams, you're going to be sort of mentally adjusted to one style, and then suddenly you get to play Na'Vi. Sometimes Hellraisers do some of the similar style, and it's really frustrating.
I mean, no doubt about it. I remember listening to comms of this this matchup, EnVy versus Na'Vi, and it used to be that EnVy was supremely confident when playing with Na'Vi. Like Happy would have it down to the round as to like exactly the mental state that Na'Vi would be in. This is like Na'Vi are playing aggressive. Hold on, guys, don't worry, we're gonna break them soon. And then he would call it like they're gonna play slow now.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Na'Vi went back into it. It doesn't feel like we're seeing that right now. So one thing to keep in mind as well is that Shoxy's calling for EnVy right now. It's not Happy, so it's a bit of a change in leadership there. So we can, I suppose, expect a little bit of a growing pain period where Shoxy might be still trying to figure things out the way that Happy had them, or that the team is trying to adjust to what he has in mind as to how they need to play.
I just think it's super hard calling it Na'Vi no matter who you are. It's really tough.
It is a tough team.
They've improved so much, and no longer just guarding, carrying. I mean, it's C's this time around, but they can rely on almost anyone. It's super fantastic to watch. Now, that means we're going to Dust 2 as well. But before we get there, we'll have a quick break. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.